it was Mark Davis or Josh Alexander, I'm not sure who.
And I sent a note to Kota Ibushi and said, don't worry, there's a place in the Don Callis family for you in 5 years when you recover from your leg injury.
Well, you never let up, did you? Never.
Yeah, Omega, he was calling out Josh Alexander.
Omega blames Josh Alexander, he should blame himself.
But Kenny Omega, Brian S. Oh, and Alexander immediately tagging out to Hechicero. His fans coming out this week as we head into Wrestle Dream Live tonight, a special 3-hour broadcast immediately followed by the Countdown to Wrestle Dream right here on TBS and HBO Max, and then coming up this Saturday live, 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. coast to coast. It is the Saturday Tailgate Brawl ahead of Wrestle Dream on TNT and HBO Max, and then 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. It is Wrestle Dream on pay-per-view on HBO Max this Saturday night as Hechicero taking Kenny Omega off his feet. Brian, as we heard earlier today, covered the words from this past Saturday. Jack Perry imploring Kenny Omega for the help. The enemy is my friend. Jack Perry, of course, referring to the Young Bucks, but Kenny Omega still dubious on whether he. Oh my gosh! Talk about broken legs.
Oh wow!
Take Josh Alexander, let him finish the job. Snap, crackle, pop.
Kenny Omega was dubious on whether he could trust Jack Perry in this match tonight.
Rightfully so.
Hechicero the cover.
I mean, Jack Perry helped the Young Bucks put Kenny Omega in an ambulance, which caused him to miss a year of action. And now Jack Perry wants to team with him. I'd be a little concerned too, especially with Don Callis out here.
I'll give Kenny Omega credit. He's resilient, much like a cockroach.
Oh my God!
The inverted dragon screw there by Hechicero, targeting that left leg of Kenny Omega, and Omega walking very gingerly. Omega would be lucky to escape this match without a similar injury to Kota Ibushi.
Well, I think we can get them room for 2 with a view, if you know what I mean. Matching beds.
That's horrible to say, Don.
Yeah, nice golden bedpan, everything for them.
Oh, would you stop him?
Luckily, Kenny seems to be running okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Ducking underneath Hechicero. Josh Alexander, though, needed the lower back of Omega. As Hechicero through the walls, being passed by Omega, and now Kenny.
Be careful here.
Taking down Hechicero on the outside, but Alexander lying in wait.
Don Callis just threw his headset, running away from Kenny Omega. Just the thought of Kenny Omega coming near him.
I think one thing, Kenny has let his emotions overtake him here, Brian, because he's got 2 other guys that can tag in here, and he's been willing to do this the entire match by himself so far.
He's just trying to do it on his own, not exactly the smart tactic, but something that you do when you're wrestling with your heart.
And Kenny Omega not fully trusting his partners in this trios battle. And Don, this is not the only trios action for the family here tonight, I understand.
You know what? Earlier today, I mean, Mark Briscoe is such a moron. He thinks he wants a piece. He wants to get his hands, he can't wait to get his hands on Kyle Fletcher, and he's going to bring Brodino. Guess what, genius? I got a family of 25 people. I can bring whoever I want. We're going to see him tonight.
The Kyle Fletcher team with Lance Archer, Rocky Romero to take on Mark Briscoe, Brody King, and Bandito. Still to come tonight ahead of Kyle Fletcher's TNT Championship match with Mark Briscoe. It will be 5 in the series between these 2 men, which is split 2 wins each. Coming up this Saturday, live at Wrestle Dream on pay-per-view on HBO Max. And of course, Bandito and Brody King, AWO Tag Team Champions, will have their hands full with the AEW Unified Champion, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and the newly crowned IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, the Alpha. Konosuke Takeshita. All that goes down at Wrestle Dream this Saturday live on pay-per-view at HBO Max. Visit HBOMax.com/AEW. And Kenny Omega making a tag out to Jack Perry, I think out of desperation, if nothing else, Brian.
For the very first time in the match, Kenny Omega tags out. And I don't blame him. I'm not sure if I would trust Jack Perry either.
Luchasaurus in the leg, takes down Josh Alexander.
But notice how little Jack Perry was actually in the ring just now. He got in, he got out.
Brian, you obviously have a great career, but what Kenny Omega was doing, you called it wrestling with his heart. I call it the NBA hero ball. Trying to do too much, trying to do it all himself, and it's going to spell disaster against the family.
I don't disagree with you, Don, and especially when you got technical masters like Josh Alexander and Hechicero in there, and then you got Mark Davis on the apron.
Oh, big senton delivered by Jack Perry. The cover. 2.
That's great teamwork by two men who know and trust each other.
Alexander looking for that ankle lock. Sorry, Tony.
That's all right. Former World Tag Team Champions, of course.
Now in comes Mark Davis, seeing his first action in quite a bit of time. Is this your time?
Davis coming off a broken foot there. He missed that stop. That's a concern.
Davis, the shoulder block shuts down Jack Perry. As this trios battle continues live on TBS HBO Max.
In October, every player wants to turn his story into history.
Missouri, here on this special thrill broadcast of AEW. Jack Perry alongside Luchasaurus and Kenny Omega battling members of the Don Callis family. Mark Davis exits the ring. Josh Alexander looking to apply punishment, continue to apply punishment to Perry. But Jack Perry, no. Alexander so dangerous.
Beautiful tackle in the hospital.
Oh, look at this. Davis sweeping out the leg. Luchasaurus and now action all over the ring. Kenny Omega sending Hechicero into the barricade as Davis and Luchasaurus battling, but all the while Jack Perry caught that ankle lock but answers with an enziguri.
But no one to tag.
No one there, you're right.
Is Kenny Omega going to hop up on that apron and make the tag?
What's Kenny doing here? He's slowly walking up. That's kind of odd.
I tell you, if Josh Alexander keeps going after people's legs, you might want to stop the companies.
He wasn't sure, but he's sure now, guys.
Omega, the double action. 2 for Alexander, 1 for Hechicero. Kenny Omega looking sharp here. Omega swinging on Miz. Alexander kick to the midsection. Omega, the fireman's carry. Got Alexander. Omega hops up there, green overall. As you can see, still moving gingerly on that left leg, but lands a moonsault. Nearly put away Josh Alexander.
Kenny Omega looking like the Kenny Omega of old right now, and that is scary for us.
I mean, the Kenny Omega that you discarded, Don.
Yeah, you got a screwdriver in your pocket this time?
I'm just happy to see you. As the Snapdragon suplex avoided, Omega breaks the ropes and Josh Alexander. The technical ability of Josh Alexander on display here, and the German suplex, and maintains control of the waist, Brian.
Taz Widow would say, talking about how great Josh Alexander's hips are when he does these suplexes, how important the grip is.
Yeah, and the pop the hips.
Alexander looking for the third. Omega battling out, breaks the grip, sends Alexander into the ropes, knee between the shoulder blades. Omega, backslide, nope, rolls him through. Alexander still down. Even more dazed. The driving knee scores for Omega. The cover, 2, and Alexander forced to use the rope to break up the pinning predicament.
Great technical wrestling move there by Josh Alexander, grabbing that rope. And here's a 2 big men.
Oh, Luchasaurus looking for a choke slam.
They're mixing it up on the floor earlier, now inside the ring. Davis and Luchasaurus just throwing bombs at one another. Now the same idea, both men go down.
Not many people can knock Luchasaurus off his feet, but Mark Davis just did.
Davis is a beast.
Now Jack Perry.
TT.
Josh Alexander, that surgically repaired neck, the target of Jack Perry, but Hechicero, the mad scientist. Jack Perry
Swinging hammerlock. How about that?
But Omega scores with that knee. Davis the right hand. And now the Enziguri misses. Luchasaurus on top. Davis stunned by that one, but likewise, so is Luchasaurus.
Fans are loving this.
And Mark Davis, this is the first time that we've seen him, Brian, to be on the receiving end of a considerable amount of punishment.
That's been a long time since he's been in the ring.
Don Callis once again. Throw down that headset as Kenny Omega.
Oh, Memphis distracted by Don Callis.
Chop block by Alexander targeting the knee of Kenny Omega. And Omega down, Davis. Now Davis on the move. Davis through the leg, but Jack Perry pushed Kenny Omega to safety.
He sacrificed himself for Kenny Omega. How about that?
Davis.
Oh, Mike Davis looking for the close your eyes and count to nothing.
Omega to his feet, too. Now 3 consecutive chops into that chest of the big Australian. But Davis, big Enziguri. Good night. Stumped Omega. Stumped pile driver. Davis now. The cover. 2, 3. Oh, so close. Omega kicking out the last possible moment.
Shockwaves going through Omega's body with that pile driver from the beast Mark Davis.
Now Hechicero looking for the cross arm breaker, Gigi Gatame. But Kenny Omega trying to defend it as Josh Alexander attempting to run interference. Hechicero trying to get full extension on that arm. He does.
Choke slam.
Choke slam, that's Hechicero.
Lucky Kenny Omega got his arm out of the way. That could have been really bad with his elbow hyperextended.
Kenny Omega makes the tag to Jack Perry. The knee sends Davis reeling to the outside.
Back down. He just got up on the apron and goes down again.
And now Hechicero up on the shoulders of Luchasaurus as Jack Perry finds his footing on there.